Horford with a quick outlet to Looney. Great catch. And a better block by Brown. He packed it. Tight in transition to Brown with a head of steam and says it with his chest at the other end. Think about the effort.
Hey guys, Emmanuel here, and Game 2 of the NBA Finals is tomorrow. And after Game 1, what happened in Game 1, which was all crazy, I was wondering I should make a video assessing just how much, if any, should the Warriors be concerned about the upcoming games and about this series. Now, going into the series, I clearly picked the Warriors to win the championship in 6 games, but man, Game 1 completely shifted my outlook on this series, right? There's a possibility that the Warriors could actually lose this finals. That wasn't a possibility to me in my eyes prior to Game 1. I know that sounds crazy because it's a contest. Either one, every champion was once a contender. But to me, Golden State was just such a clearly better team than the Boston Celtics that I just couldn't fathom that the Celtics would win the series. But there's an actual legitimate chance that the Celtics actually win this series. And so with that being said, just how much should the Warriors be concerned about the Celtics? And in my opinion, I think they should be pretty concerned, right? Because everyone that I see in the media or everyone that talks about this series, that's talking about the series now after Game 1 is saying, oh, the Warriors shouldn't be concerned because the Celtics aren't going to make as many threes in the next game. They're not going to continue to shoot as well as they did in Game 1. They're saying, Steve Kerr said they just need to turn the page and move on to the next game. But I don't really think that's completely true, right? Because the Heat said the same thing. The Heat said, oh, the Celtics cannot shoot this well for the entire series, right? People said the same thing when they played against the Brooklyn Nets, right? Like when the Celtics won against the Brooklyn Nets, you thought, okay, well, they won against the Brooklyn Nets. Like it's going to be a battle. And they ended up sweeping the Brooklyn Nets. It could be the same story for the Warriors here, right? Because I think that the reason the Celtics won Game 1 was because of their immaculate shooting and their defensive capabilities. Now, the defensive capabilities isn't going anywhere, right? You saw in Game 1, the Celtics were able to go on a 17-0 run, and to me, the 17 is impressive. It's the O that's impressive. They shut down one of the best offenses I've ever seen in the NBA. People really stop to think about that for a second. Just think about how offensively dominating and domineering the Warriors are as a team. They have Stephen Curry, the best three-point shooter in the entire league, in entire NBA history. And next to him is the second best shooter of all time in Klay Thompson. Then you have Andrew Wiggins. Then you have Jordan Poole. This team is so good offensively, and the Celtics were able to just limit them. At halftime, the Celtics were leading by 2 points, and I was amazed because Jayson Tatum wasn't playing particularly well, but they were still in the game. And that's because just as how the Warriors are loaded in terms of players that can create shots and make something out of nothing, the Celtics are too. It's like if Jayson Tatum doesn't step up, right? Jaylen Brown steps up, right? Al Horford steps up. And those guys aren't going anywhere in the next game, right? If anything, they're going to be a little bit more hungrier, right? Because they're only 3 wins away from hoisting the Larry O'Brien trophy, right? And so I think if the Warriors tread lightly, if it hasn't clicked for them that this is a team we need to be narrowly focused on, we cannot at any point wither in our mental fortitude, we will get dealt with, and they will, right? I imagine the games at TD Garden in Boston are going to be insane. I talked about this in my previous videos. Boston Celtics fans, Boston sports fans in general are insane. They're crazy for their sports, right? And to see that the Celtics were able to win on the road, it's not going to get easier when they go back to Boston, right? So you have to factor that in. And I know they're saying, oh, we just have to turn the page and bring energy to the next game. And I know they're just saying that for the cameras, but seriously though, they need to really focus on the Celtics, right? I imagine Jayson Tatum's probably just going to have a really good game in Game 2, right? And the thing is, Jayson Tatum doesn't even need to play really good in Game 2. He just needs to play well for the first 3 quarters. I mean, like, Jaylen Brown has become a closer for this team, right? Al Horford has become a patriarch of this team, a rock that they lean on. He doesn't wither in his resolution to winning the game. So if the Warriors don't really cap that confidence that this team got from game 1, seeing that they can actually beat the Warriors changes everything. I know I had the Warriors winning in 6 games. The way that the Celtics won in game 1 and just them winning in general, I think that might have shifted the series. I think it wouldn't be beyond me if the Celtics won this series, because I saw really good basketball from the Celtics in the 4th quarter in game 1. I mean, like, not just, it was basketball. It was immaculate shooting, great defense, great ball movement. And the ball movement is something nobody's talking about, right? The Celtics were passing the ball and it was like 4 or 5 passes before shooting. It was akin to the 2014 San Antonio Spurs and the 2016 Golden State Warriors. Just beautiful basketball. And this team, the Boston Celtics, right? As the season's gone by, the Celtics have found themselves. They've grown up. They grew up in one season. And I know that's weird to say, but think about it. In January, they were out of the playoff contention. They started finding themselves, started gaining confidence. And by the end of the season, they were the number 1 seed. Sweep one of the best teams in the league in the Brooklyn Nets. People thought, oh man, Heat in 6, right? The Heat, I thought Heat in 6. I mean, the Heat, to me, prior to the season beginning, were the deepest team. Took care of Giannis, right? And the thing with the Celtics team is that they get confidence the more they win. When they see that they can win, it turns into a snowball effect. And it's the same thing with shooting. When they start to see their shots go in for 3, the 4th quarter happens, right? And Warriors have to be vigilant. Warriors have to completely be on their game in game 2. The rest of the Warriors have to show up, obviously, because game 1 wasn't due to Stephen Curry losing. Steph played immaculately. Steph had 34 points. So you guys have to show up here, right? Defensively, offensively, and you cannot let your foot off the gas pedal, right? You guys could have won this game if you played like how you played in the 4th quarter for the entire game. Somehow, after the 3rd quarter, when you were up by 15, you let your foot off the gas pedal. You cannot do that, right? This is what I mean. You have to be vigilant about this team. They're not going to go away just because you're up, right? And you saw that in the 4th quarter, and you saw that in game 1. But yeah, those are just my thoughts, and that's what I mean. I think the Warriors should be concerned and should be worried about this Boston Celtics team. Yeah, guys, if you like this kind of content, you like basketball, this is the channel for you. This is League Talk. My name is Emmanuel Camia. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. Leave your thoughts in the comments below what you think of the series. Drop a like for the algorithm. I'd appreciate if this video can get onto the algorithm so it can get to more viewers like you and I. And aside from that, I'll see you next time, kids.